Hello everybody, welcome back to another brand new GT Sport FIA video. We're back once again for another round of the FIA Manufacturer Series, back in the Group 4 cars once again. How do I put this? This race was painful to do. It really was. I don't just speak for myself, but the likes of, I think you safely say, Dan Holland. The Lamborghini was not good around here, the Subi wasn't good around here. There's a lot of cars that weren't really that good around here. I can probably safely say this was a FF OP track. You'll soon get what I mean by that once you see the end results, but anyway, on our first qualifying lap here at the moment, we've got, who's that? You got Dan and Adam just ahead of us, so a couple of decent benchmarks, so to speak, to try and stick with. But anyway, as we come across the line for our first run of the session, and it is a 159.1, not too bad. As you can see, we're only down in P9 at the moment, so realistically, that is not a very good lap. Pretty shit lap, actually, if anything. But anyway, we'll have to try and better it somehow if we can. Once again, pretty decent reference in front of us as we're following Dan in the Lambo. I don't think he was enjoying the experience around here too much in that Group 4 Lambo either, as speaking from personal experience, it's definitely not the nicest car to drive around a place like this. But anyway, sector 1, we're just over a tenth down on our 59.1, so a bit of work to do here for the final part of the lap. Mainly just trying to make sure I could stick within slipstream, as I felt particularly up to the final two corners, I felt like slipstream could definitely be worth a little bit through there. And just as a whole around this track, I definitely felt like slipstream was quite helpful. I definitely felt like it was in my case, mainly just because well, I don't really need to go into great detail, but if anybody has driven this Subaru, you will know just how much horsepower this vehicle does not have compared to a lot of other things on track. So that definitely puts us at a bit of a disadvantage in terms of straight line speed. So we've really got to try and make it up through the corners. As you can see, that's really not going all too well at the moment. But through the final corner, and we actually hit the wall there, so that has ruined any chance that there was of beating our original 59.1. I think we only did like a 59.8 there at the end, so I definitely don't think there was 7/10 lost in that mistake. So yeah, that really wasn't a great qualifying session. We end up down in P9, right behind Matt Simmons in the GT4 Cayman Club Sport, so that's interesting to see the likes of him almost stand outside the top 10. We got a fellow Subi driver in here as well. We've got about, I can't tell whether that's 59.6 or a 59.8. I got about 5 to 7/10 on him anyway, so we've got reasonable pace, I suppose, considering the car that we have. But anyway, let's go to the race and see how many spots, if any, we can make up. Alrighty, so here we are, ready to roll for 13 laps here for round 17 of the Manufacturer Series. Not gonna lie, I wasn't looking forward to doing this race. I didn't have any type of expectations even before I got on to actually do this. Yeah, anyway, 3, 2, 1, away we go. And not gonna lie, main goal was really just to try and stick with these guys ahead of me if I could. I felt like I could have maybe challenged for P7 if I had a little bit of luck on my side, maybe P6 depending on the pace that Dan was able to get out of that Lambo. So I definitely think we could improve on P9, but we're definitely going to have to hope for a little bit of luck. The running order has definitely changed up a little bit though. As you can see, we got VLX fella currently leading the race. I think he actually scored pole position from Jono in P2. So pretty impressive stuff from the Volkswagen driver there, as definitely it looks like he's rebounded pretty well, especially after our little accident at Spa in the Superstars race, shall I say. I probably shouldn't delve into that, so yep, I won't. Anyway, couple of things worth mentioning for this race. Tyre wear, absolutely shocking, and fuel was also quite a big concern. You did have to save quite a lot, and that was one thing that really confused me in this race. And when I say it confused me, I don't mean as in the fuel saving in general, but you'll see what I mean when the pit stops start to take effect around, let me just try to remember, I think it's lap 4, lap 5 is when we first see a few takers, and you'll definitely see what I mean when a couple of people peel in. But cutting on to the end of lap 1 now, we've been able to keep up with Matt Simmons fairly well, as I don't think that Porsche is the best car around this place either. But yeah, anyway, so far so good. We've actually got quite a nice gap to the guys behind as well, so we're pretty comfortably in P9 for the moment, as I think there was somebody behind us there making a pit stop already, so they must have started on the mediums. But cutting on to lap 3 now, as it looks like the field has just started to spread out ever so slightly, as we've got Matt trying to make a move on Devil there in the Volkswagen, side by side into this left-hander. Matt tries to go a long way around the outside. Pretty ballsy move there, and he's made that work. We're going to try and follow suit. We get squeezed onto the grass a little bit there, although in fairness that was probably a bit of a dodgy move from myself there. So yeah, can't really say anything about the Volkswagen, as there's nothing wrong with what he did there. But anyway, I don't think any contact was made, no rubbish penalties or any crap like that. So anyway, cutting on to the end of lap 4, and I think this is where you'll get our first indication, as one of the Volkswagen drivers is in the pits. He's got 61 litres of fuel on board, and look at what we have. Now keep in mind, I've actually been trying to save as well. Granted, probably not as much as what I could, but I was short shifting and turning the engine down every chance I could get, and we just had nowhere near as much fuel as some of the guys around us. You can see there 48 litres, 34, 35, we've got 34, so I'm about dead level with Adam Wilk and Matt Simmons at the moment, and those guys were just driving off down the road. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, as a lot of people would know if you've watched my FIA videos for any period of time. You would know that I'm always wanting to run at the front. I'm always wanting to try and win these races. Probably a bit optimistic to think that, but that's honestly just what I think about doing these. You know, I don't do these races to cruise around in 15th. I do these because I want to run at the front, and every race I try and do everything that I can to make sure that I'm as far up the field as I possibly can be. Unfortunately in this race, however, I don't think that has really worked out too well for us. Coming on to lap 9, we're currently located in P8, or you might be able to make that P7, as Matt Simmons serves a penalty in that Porsche. I'm not too sure what that was for, but that demotes him down to P8 and moves us up into P7. So not looking too bad for us, I guess you could say at the moment. But cutting on to the end of lap 10, in to the right hand, and Matt going to try and look right the way round the outside. Very neat move from the Porsche driver there. We've just got our nose in front, but we're on the outside. We'll try and hang on, but there's nothing we can do there against that Porsche. Our front tyres are absolutely shot as well. And that was one thing that was really a killer in this race for me, was the front tyre wear. It was just horrendous. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what to say. FF cars definitely seemed pretty OP around here. You probably sit back and call it the FF Grand Prix, to be honest, as that's really what it was. But anyway, we re-emerge on the track in position 8, so it does look like P8 is probably where we're going to finish. As far as I know, Matt still has to make a pit stop. We're about 6 seconds behind. I don't think he has to put any fuel in. And cutting on to the final lap of the race, he has made his stop, or the final one for the race, and now P7 is well and truly on the cards for us. We're going to try and make a move on Matt Simmons if we can, down into this right-hander. We go very deep, both of us. Matt runs a little bit wide. We keep it nice and tucked into the apex, side by side now, but we're on the outside. This left-hander puts us in a not so good spot, and we have to yield there to the Porsche driver. And I think that might be all she wrote. We're running very low on fuel. Not 100% sure whether we'll actually make it to the end before I run out. But as you can see, I'm wringing the neck of this thing. I'm using all the road and more to try and see if I could nick P7 back from Matt Simmons here in this final half a lap. You can see Dan Holland just up the road there in the Lambo, but I don't think either of us are going to be able to do anything to him unless he makes a major mistake here in the last few corners, which is something I don't really see happening, but you never know. But in to the final few corners now, Matt has got about a 0.6 of a second gap over us. As you can see, we throw it into this right-hander, and at this point I'm just doing everything I can. I was trying to wring the neck of this Subi to get every little bit out of it that I could to try and maybe make a move for P7, but unfortunately in the end we couldn't quite do it. I had to turn the engine down right at the end here as well, as I was actually pretty sure that I was going to run out, but it looks like, unless Matt runs out as well, and it doesn't look like he will, so he finishes P7, but it's going to be P8 for us. And all in all, look, I don't know what to say about that, guys, to be honest. I mean, probably the best we could have got. Maybe P7 if we had been a bit more aggressive. But I really feel like that's all we could have gotten in this race, to be fair. Alright, so there we go, guys. That has been today's video. The Manufacturer Series round 17. Round 18, as you can see, has already finished. That's the Group 3 cars at Fuji Speedway. Hopefully I'll have that uploaded, if not tomorrow, Wednesday. I do apologise for being a bit slack on the uploads lately. Just got quite a few real life concerns, and yeah, just a bunch of other stuff in general. But anyway, we were 14th on the Oceania leaderboard, so still in the top 16, which is all I want at the moment. Subaru currently sitting P2 for the global manufacturer ranking, so that's pretty neat. But anyway, that's it from me today, guys. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it, as always. But yeah, that's it from me today. So hope everybody is well. Look after yourselves. And until the next one, I'll catch you all later.